Hello, Mr. Nixon Joseph. Welcome to the channel Kahani's Golden Bytes. Thank you for taking your time to be on the channel, Mr. Nixon.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So, Mr. Nixon Joseph, for the benefit of our viewers, may I please request you to give a little background about yourself, before we go into our conversation?
Okay, sure. So I'm from Cochin, Kerala. After my studies, I joined the State Bank of India in 1985 as a probationary officer. Initially, my posting was in Northeast India, and I'm very proud when I tell that I have been working in Nagaland, Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Tripura, etc. And after my term in Northeast, I got posted to Bahrain, and on deputation from SBI. And after that posting, I came back to India. And then I was in Chennai, I was in Trivandrum, I was in Ernakulam. And then I came to Mumbai. I was in SBI head office, where I was looking after corporate credit policy and procedures. And from there, I went to Japan. I was heading Tokyo branch. Then came back to Northeast again. I was the regional manager, Garo Hills, Meghalaya. And then after the assignment there, I shifted my focus from corporate banking and retail banking to corporate social responsibility. Yes. And I was in SBI Foundation since 2016. And I retired from SBI Foundation in 2021 May and joined CLT India, which is a Children's LoveCastles Trust Bangalore, which is an NGO in the EdTech sector. This was started in 1997, and in 2022, we are celebrating its 25th year. In CLT India, our vision is access to quality education for all. And therefore, our focus is on government schools. We provide them digital STEM education contents.
Amazing, amazing. That's so much. And Mr. Nixon, it's just unfortunate I won't be able to touch upon everything, but I am just eager to, take this conversation to the next stage. So, Mr. Nixon, how long were you in State Bank of India? How many years?
Yes, I had spent 36 years with the State Bank of India.
A number of people, we've read about the great resignation that's currently happening across the globe. A lot of people are finding it hard to clock 36 months, not 36 years. So, here you are, and I'd like to delve a little bit more on that. So, Mr. Nixon, you've seen the growth, because you were there in the 80s, right up to the liberalization and everything else beyond that. So you've seen dramatic change in your banking space, right? So, Mr. Nixon, during the liberalization stage, in the 90s, etc., a lot of foreign companies were coming in, financial institution, the industries, new industries were coming, everything was kind of exploding. They were looking for very experienced people who knew the country, who knew their money matters, who knew how fiscal policy, etc. And several of them, from your similar background, left PSUs and went to these kind of multinationals, so to speak. You stayed on, Mr. Nixon. What was the reason why you still decided to carry on with State Bank of India?
It's a very interesting question. When my daughters used to ask me why you continued for long in SBI, you could have hoped to some other banks and all, they would have paid more, etc. But then when I look back, I feel there were a lot of reasons why I continued in SBI. For people I will tell my generation or times who joined State Bank of India or any other organization at that time, all of us had the feeling that we joined this organization, we should retire from this organization. Because that was the way in which we were brought up. loyalty to the organization. This is the organization which gives us our bread and butter. So our growth, our life, everything should be involving that organization only. All other organizations for us were competitors. And we would have, I would have thought, I got a lot of knowledge, everything from SBI. And then if I go to Citibank or some other bank, then I would be just, I would tell, like whatever I could from SBI, I'm sharing with them. I'm sharing with my competitors. So all these were things which hits our conscience. So that was one reason why I didn't leave SBI. And then in SBI being the largest bank, gives a lot of opportunities for learning. Lot of exposures, various sectors like corporate credit, retail banking, international banking, agriculture banking, treasury, investments. All these are I had exposure and I got learnings. And when you learn new topics, you get excited. So that was one aspect why I didn't feel like leaving. Because see, being India's largest bank spread all over India, a banker to every Indian, there are a lot of challenges. Every day you go to the bank branch or any office, a lot of challenges are there. Accepting those challenges, facing them, really excited me. Then one thing, you get salary with which you can have a respectable, reasonable life. If your aspirations are for a luxury life, it may not be possible. But then if you, for a life with quite a decent life, bank is paying. That salary would be enough. And then another thing is, what do you want in life? Whether you want happiness, whether you want satisfaction, whether you want excitement, whether you want money, whether you want power, you that only decides what you will do. In my case, I was looking for happiness, satisfaction, facing challenges and getting excited. So I thought it is fine. I'm very comfortable with SBI. Why should I leave? And overall, this I felt one thing which strongly I would I felt was that SBI has given me a lot of opportunities. That only has increased my knowledge. It has increased my value. Should I share it with my competitors?
Very well put, Ms. Nixon. So you weren't putting a price tag on what your conscience was telling you. You were very,
Yes.
It was something very internal to you. You couldn't be bought out. You wanted to give back in a very different manner, to your bank that was nurturing you and giving you opportunities. That was non-negotiable. Right?
Yes.
So, Mr. Nixon, you also mentioned, you were in Tokyo, you were heading the Tokyo branch in Japan, you've been in the Middle East. You also mentioned the Northeast. So these are so very different. I mean, I'm not trying to signal out Northeast. You've been all over the country, and that's once you're a banker with SBI, like you mentioned, you're a banker to every Indian. So this could be the most remote areas. So what was your experience in those days? The Northeast was rather different. And if I were to just compare with Japan and with the Middle East, and the rest of India.
I fully agree with you. My initial period in Northeast, it was quite challenging, especially for someone who has never left Kerala state. So when I got posted and when I saw the appointment letter, you have been allotted to Northeast India, it was a shocker for me.
So your appointment was to that region?
Yes. And I even now many people have do not have a proper understanding of Northeast. So during that time in 1985 and all, I was thinking Northeast is full of forest. It is wildlife. Life is also at risk. All these were my thoughts at that time. And added to it, a homesickness also, because I never was outside Kerala, or I was never away from my parents and all for a long time. See, when I reached Northeast and I saw the challenges before me, because it was very far from Kerala, languages were different, food habits different. I had one option with me, either leave this job or be in Northeast and continue with SBI. I decided that I will continue with SBI because one, during those time, getting a job and especially a prestigious one, like which I got in SBI, was quite challenging. It's quite difficult at that time. Then I thought, then this is the option before me. I'll start loving this. I was in Mizoram initially, and I'm very proud to tell within 3 months, I picked up Mizo language. And then started having the Mizo food also. I was like engaging with the Mizo people, that within 3 months, they accepted me as one among them. Then I learned a lesson that wherever you go, if you want to enjoy your life, if you want to be happy, if you want to engage with the community, then you have to learn language, you have to adopt their style, and also like mingle with the community, etc., without any bias. Many times what happens is when we go to, I've seen when we are transferred to places, people go with a bias. My culture is important, their culture is not very developed, they are inferior to us, all these things. This, like, I was telling my first exposure outside Kerala, and I should thank SBI for that because it broadened my mind. It like made me strong. It like gave me the lesson that if our mind, it all depends on the mind. If we are determined, we can survive in any place. Be it Japan, which is very developed, be it Northeast, which is not as much developed, or any other part of India. And I will tell you, after CEO Tokyo posting, SBI posted me to Garo Hills, Meghalaya, which is, I will tell you, one of the less developed places in Northeast India, where kidnapping, etc., was very common during those days. But then I decided that if I join SBI, I cannot insist I will be only in Singapore or Tokyo or Delhi or Calcutta. As long as I am getting salary, I am bound by SBI conditions. I will be ready to move to any part of India where bank posts me. And when I go with that mind, I'm happy. Many people, when they are posted in like far off places, they go with a lot of like burden in the mind.
Amazing. So, Mr. Nixon, you've chased happiness wherever you've gone. Even earlier you mentioned that, and the world today is chasing happiness. That's it's. You've been practicing that since a long time, so that's really wonderful to hear. And Mr. Nixon, I want to take you back to something that is where you've been covered very widely, and this is not the coat that you were wearing, but a pair of shorts and a T-shirt. Would you be kind enough to tell the viewers why did you don that outfit of shorts, sneakers, and a T-shirt? What were you doing in that?
From my childhood onwards, I was told focus on studies. After I joined the bank, focus on work. So I was mostly focusing on work, studies, etc. till the age of 45. And I was happy also because you get recognized for doing well in studies. You are recognized when you do well in the bank, etc. But at the age of 45, when I was in Mumbai, SBI head office, a thought came into my mind for quite few months, whether life is going to office at 9 a.m. and coming back to home at 9 p.m. Life is much more bigger than what we are doing. We are all blessed with a lot of potential. Are we using it? Secondly, I thought SBI is having 250,000 officials. How many of them are inspiring others? We respect our executives because of the positions they hold. But are many of them inspiring us? So I thought I should be a different type of person. I should be able to inspire others. So how to inspire others? If you do things differently. So how to do things differently? What activity I should do, which the other 250,000 officials are not doing? This was in 2005, 2006. I thought for quite some time, and then I came to understand that in SBI at that time, no one was doing long distance running. I thought, why not do it? So I registered for the Standard Chartered Mumbai Marathon without even knowing how much distance is a full marathon. I thought it could be easily covered, 42 kilometers distance, but it is a very daunting distance. Very respectable distance, 42 kilometers.
Yes.
For the first marathon, when I registered, many of my colleagues told me, don't go for such adventures. You focus on your office work, be here and all. But we have to always keep in mind, if you are in comfort zone, you never grow. If you always listen to others' opinions, you are living their life. And like many of us are brought up from childhood onwards or adolescent period and all on the opinion of others. They will tell you, you will not be a good singer, you will not be a good athlete, you will not be a good speaker, you will not succeed in life. You will not be all such opinions. Over a period of time, they become your beliefs. So I was also in a prison of beliefs where I believed that I won't be able to do even 5 kilometers. You are good only as a student. You are good as a banker, but not as for some others, a marathoner or runner and all. I thought I will come out of this cage. So in spite of a lot of challenges, the first marathon was really painful. After 6 kilometers, I thought I will surrender. But then I thought no one had compelled me to register for the marathon. If it was so easy, everyone would have done it. And if I surrender now, I would not become different from others. I will not be able to inspire others. So I thought I will continue. It took 7 hours for me to complete my first full marathon. But I always, after getting the finisher's medal, that is the first medal which I got related to sports, it gave me the message that if you are determined, you can achieve anything in life. And I continued that, and I completed 56 full marathons so far. From
56 full marathons, and a full marathon is 42 kilometers and not a half marathon.
Yes. From zero running, zero physical activity to 56 full marathons.
That is just amazing. And you've been covered in, sorry.
Then that has inspired thousands of people, both inside the bank and outside.
And you've been covered by a book amongst being the inspiring leaders of India.
Yes, because like it gave me a lot of happy incidents. I still remember when I was doing my Mumbai marathon in 2014 or 15, I don't remember. One young banker, he rushed towards me while I was doing, reached the 36th kilometer. He told, I wanted to hug you. I asked why. He told, no, you have been such a high inspiration. I want to hug you. I told, I am sweating like anything. You can come to the finish point and you can hug me. He was telling, no, I want to do now itself, even though you are sweating. So what I want to convey is, when you do things differently, when you do things with passion, thousands of people are inspired. It will create a ripple effect. And I'm very proud I created a running culture in the bank. Now SBI is having a group of runners, youngsters, etc. At least for fitness sake, they are moving. And that is my biggest contribution to State Bank of India.
Amazing, amazing. So Mr. Nixon, during COVID, you went viral for one reason. Across the world, people were watching a clip of yours. And what was that about?
During COVID time, many of my friends told me that we won't be able to run our jobs because of the lockdown. But I always felt that whenever any such crisis, like you can't run or anything like that happens, we have to first accept it. And then find out a positive way of coming out of it. So you are not allowed to run outside. You are not allowed to jog outside. Fine. That should not stop your interest in running. I thought, why not we do inside the apartment?
Inside the apartment.
So many people told it's not possible. I told, I will do it. And not once, I think I did it thrice or 4 times inside my apartment.
Marathon.
42 kilometers. It took a lot of time because of paucity of space, lack of space. You have to negotiate the furniture, etc. and all. But I think I took more than 7 hours. But then I did it because we should give a message to everyone that this is not the end of life. COVID is not the end of life. We have to go ahead. We have to be resilient. And if you are determined, there is an inspiring way to achieve anything.
Mr. Nixon, I'd love to carry on our conversation, but I won't take more of your time. Thank you for coming on the channel and sharing a little bit about yourself. Thank you so much, Mr. Nixon.
Thank you very much. It was very nice sharing my experiences. Thank you.